and we are wide. Millions of followers, hear us out. Seen all over the world, there's no doubt. We are the future, shining bright. Join the raw feed every night. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is Gary. On Next News Network, we never vary.
Good evening and welcome to the Raw Feed, the show where we tell you what's really happening in America, not what the mainstream media wants you to believe. I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight we've got a lineup that's going to blow your mind. But before we dive in, let me tell you something incredible. We have seen the future. That's right, folks. We've got the inside scoop on tomorrow's debate between Trump and Kamala, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. And how do we do it? Let's just say Doc Brown's DeLorean came in handy, so stay tuned because you won't believe what we have uncovered. Now, let me remind you of something special about our show. We don't just talk at you, we talk with you. Our live chat is your direct line to the conversation. Your reactions, your insights, they're not just welcome, they are essential. So keep those comments coming because your voice matters here. Now, the tech giants, well, they're the ones who think they can control what you see and hear. They don't want you to know about this show. They're trying to bury us with their algorithms. But we've got a secret weapon, and that weapon is you. Yes, that's right, you. And if you're watching this and you believe in what we're doing, I need you to take out your phone right now, text a link to this stream to everyone you know who cares about the truth. So let's bypass those censors and get this information out there. And while you're at it, smash that like button. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. And speaking of getting information out there, we are not just on YouTube. We are streaming live on Rumble and X to millions worldwide. If you haven't followed us on those platforms yet, what are you waiting for? Do it now, because you never know when the tech overlords might just try to silence us completely. Now let's talk about why we are here. Tonight we're covering 3 explosive topics that the mainstream media is either ignoring or lying about. We've got the Trump-Kamala debate showdown, and remember, we've already seen how it ends. And we've got a surge in the polls that has Democrats panicking, and a crisis in Ohio that will make your head spin. But here's the thing, folks. Bringing you this truth. Fighting against the tide of misinformation is not easy, and it is not cheap. We need your support to keep this show going. There is a donation link in the description. If you value what we do, if you believe in our mission, I'm asking you to chip in whatever you can. Every dollar helps to keep us broadcasting and fighting for you. So are you ready? Let's dive into tonight's topics and uncover the truth they don't want you to know, including what happens in tomorrow's debate. So buckle up, America. It's going to be a wild ride, and now it's time to welcome you to the program. Let's jump into the live chat and see who is here. We got KJ from Canada. We got Mike is here. We got Shore U. We got Trust Nobody. We got K. Al Magure is here from California. APEC and Sue and Joe and Divided We Fall. Resto Guy, JC Big Bird. Donna is here. She likes the intro music. John is here as well. Raw OG. Who white memes? Okay. K is here. We got IMC and Jeremy Olson and James Martin R. Boyd, all in the house. Global News Wars and Lori. Tangerine Daydream is here. Andrew. Remember, D.B. Cooper's love child. That's funny. D.B. Cooper, that's such a mystery. I've always been intrigued by that. Well, now we have the love child here. So the mystery is solved, apparently. I want to know where you are watching from, what kind of device you're watching from. So just sound off in the chat, your city, your state, your country, whatever you're comfortable with disclosing. We don't want you to dox yourself, but we just like everybody to know the breadth of this broadcast because we are worldwide. Who else is in the house? Let's jump into global news. Let's see who else. John is here. Peace, love. Brian is in Ohio. Man, Brian, that stuff going on in Ohio. We're going to talk about that later. Chris is in New York City. John Jones in Mississippi. Adam is in Minnesota. David in California. Mr. RC51, who is always commenting on every one of our videos. Yes, I see your comments all the time. Thank you. Thank you for that. Joe is in Eugene, Oregon. And Rocky, merry birthday. Not my birthday, but it was my son's birthday today. Yes, turning the big 10. Celebrating my son today. Beautiful day for that. We got Dixie in Southeast Ohio. We got Fawn on her Android and Randy in Northeast Ohio. Tammy from California. Charles in Leon Valley. Margot in Western Virginia. We got Resto in Northern Wisconsin. Way up north in Wisconsin. Yes, that is Illinois' backyard. Michael in Pennsylvania. The gang is all here. Florida for Trump. Nina's here. Nita. Team of Angels from Detroit. Kentucky. William. Everybody is in the house. It is great to see you guys here. It's been a while. Let's see. Our last show was on Wednesday of last week. So we've got a big week ahead of us. I also have some big news. I'm waiting for an email that's going to drop tomorrow. And we may have some fun giveaways relating to Tucker Carlson. Yeah, should be really interesting. We'll have more news on that tomorrow. So you're going to make sure you want to tune in to tomorrow's show for a chance to win something. I'm not going to tell you what, but we're going to be giving away some things. All right. Tennessee's here. Music City Madman. Detroit, Michigan. Houston, Texas. Detroit. Wow. Everybody is here. Look at all the people watching. This is so awesome. I love you guys. You guys, every time I see these numbers go up, my heart just swells. I mean, we've got thousands of people watching on YouTube and Rumble and X, and it's all because you guys are out there sharing the link. If you're on X, repost this video right now. Tell all your friends, text your friends. If you're on Rumble, do the same. Just share the links everywhere. And like I always say, text that out to everyone using your smartphone. Because the smartphone, you can text a link and it will bypass all of the manipulation that is found on the Facebook feeds and on the YouTube algorithms, etc. Also, if you're in a Facebook group, share this link to a Facebook group. We find that there's a lot of really active Facebook groups out there, and that is sometimes how our videos end up going mega viral, is because they start getting circulated through these private Facebook groups. So if you're part of one of those, make sure you tell your friends in the group about what you're watching and what you're learning about today. Okay, let's get into our first topic of the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we've got a political bombshell for you. Thanks to a little time travel magic, we've seen tomorrow's debate, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. Donald Trump, the man that they've tried to silence, to prosecute, to keep off the ballot, steps onto that stage and does what he does best. He speaks the truth. And Kamala Harris, well, let's just say she wasn't ready for the Trump tornado. We've got the highlights, we've got the zingers, and the moments that left the mainstream media speechless. Now, let's talk about something that ties directly into this debate. I'm talking about the state of our economy. Our national debt has skyrocketed past $35 trillion. That is not just a number, it's a ticking time bomb. Meanwhile, gold has surged past $2,400 an ounce. Smart money is fleeing paper promises for real constitutional money, gold and silver. If you've got funds sitting in a low interest account or a 401k, you need to call Global Gold Investments. They're offering their 2024 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide absolutely free. Call 888-700-4148. Mention Next News and get complimentary portfolio analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-700-4148 or visit IRAGoldProof.com. Remember, if you don't have gold, you don't have wealth. Now, what happened? Yes. So, if you don't know, last week I went to a film premiere at Trump Tower, Chicago. I was one of the featured speakers alongside George Papadopoulos and, of course, General Flynn. Now, George Papadopoulos' wife, Simona, she was there. She was one of the featured interviewers in that film. It's about Hunter Biden's laptop. You need to see this. Go to my X feed and get all the details. But since George was in town, I decided to go on a journey with him. I wanted to go into the future, and I wanted to find out what happened with the debate. And we actually recorded the moment, so let's bring that up because we have it here. I want to show it to you. Yes, our little sneak peek at that moment. Oh, man. Wow.
Gary.
Whoa. That was wild, dude. Whoa. Did you see that debate? Trump killed it.
Whoa.
Wow, man. I mean, we knew that was going to happen, though, right?
Gary, that's the benefit of going into the future, coming back. You know exactly what's going to happen. Gary, it was a massacre. It was an absolute massacre. He wiped her. He wiped the floor with Kamala. It's over. Done deal. Game, set, match.
Man, dude, you know, I mean, I thought the Biden debate was bad. I mean, Kamala, dude. I mean, the cackling. She couldn't even figure out like how to finish the sentences. I mean, Trump, he couldn't even. Man, it was just crazy.
Gary, we didn't even have to go into the future to predict what we just saw.
Oh, we knew it was going to happen. We just saw it.
We knew it. We saw it. We're here to tell you exactly how it ends. This is over. Trump 2024.
Oh man, George Papadopoulos right here in the time machine. We just got back from the debate. Gary Franchi here. I mean, holy cow, this was amazing.
Oh my God, Gary! Gary, this is it. This is the benefit of time travel. I'm telling you, this is it. Not many people could do it. We did it.
The future looks bright, doesn't it?
The future looks extremely bright. I'm very happy. Extremely happy. Trump 2024. Don't worry about anything. Be strong, America. We got this.
We got this, my friends. We definitely got this. And it wasn't just George and myself going in time. We actually, Simona and Angie also did. Let's take a look at that.
Millions of people have seen your film, Simona.
I can't believe it.
This is it. It is finally here, and we've made it back. And the world knows the truth because of you, Simona.
Oh no, because you traveled us to the future and I finally saw it.
I'll travel with you any day, any time, any year.
Let's go take another trip.
Let's go.
Yeah!
Yeah, so we had some fun with George and Simona. But let's get into the actual topics of this broadcast. A little fun there. You always got to have fun in this crazy clown world that we live in. Now, Breitbart News headline report ABC campaign coverage has been 100% positive for Harris, 93% negative for Donald Trump. And the question they're asking is, how much is Disney-owned ABC going to put their thumb on the scale for Kamala Harris tomorrow night? And that's their estimate. 100% positive for Harris. Now, Western Lensman points out that the DNC chief disinformation officer, Dan Goldman, he has been dispatched ahead of the debate to lie and to gin up racial discord. Of course, that's what they do best. Dan explains that the Trump border plan is, ready for this, based on not wanting people who are white coming into the country. And he explains that the Kamala border plan is all about allowing only those who are qualified and proper to come in an orderly fashion. Sure, let's hear what he had to say.
Simple.
On
We need
News
to have
Nation.
an orderly process that can make sure that we are welcoming people into this country as we are a country of immigrants, but we're making sure that only those who are qualified and proper to come in do so in an orderly fashion. That is what the Biden-Harris policy is. The Trump policy is to deport everybody, whether they have a green card or not, and just to eliminate all immigration, essentially, because they do not want people who are not white to come into this country. It's plain and simple. And so I look forward to the vice president and the former president answering those questions on Tuesday.
I would love to see the blackmail sheet on this guy, because the amount of lies that he has been spewing for so long is just ridiculous. Juanita Broderick weighing in. I detest this man. Dan may be the sleaziest, most detestable DNC operative out there, but he does have some stiff competition. Mike Engelman, he's a psychopath who belongs in prison. Dan gets the DNC dirty jobs that require a bottom barrel level of sleaze and sociopathy. What else do we have here from this? Donald Trump addressing Kamala Harris's entrance into the 2024 presidential race and how he plans to address this. This was on Dr. Phil when he just recently interviewed with him again.
I won the election against Biden. I was up by 17 or 18 points after the debate. And they said, you know what, he's going to lose. They went and told him he's going to lose and we're going to change you out. And he said, no, I'm not going to do it. In fact, he said, only God will change me. But so who knows what happened there. But he said, I'm not leaving. You know, he got 14 million votes and Kamala got none, zero. She ran against him. She got zero. She never made it to Iowa, which is the first state. And here she is. She's on the other side. But, you know, it's like nobody ever had this before. You have an opponent. In politics, you have an opponent, and you win or you lose. But you don't have an opponent, and then you're doing well against the opponent. They take him out. They give you a new opponent. They give you a nice, fresh opponent. And so I have to win that. And if I win that, that would really serve to say that there's some incredible power up there that wanted me to be involved in saving, and maybe it's more than saving the nation. Maybe it's saving the world. Maybe.
Well, we all know that after that assassination attempt, that was clearly the hand of God on President Trump. Kristi Noem is going to be in attendance at the debate. Gene-modified cat says there's a 99% chance that a moderator will try to fact-check Trump during the debate. 100% chance that no moderator will fact-check Harris. And Rachel Scott of ABC News gives us a sneak peek inside the debate stage and explains how things will go for the debate. Let's listen.
During the commercial National Constitution Center, and we are just hours away from the very first debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. When these two candidates enter this room, it will be their very first time coming face to face, and they'll be standing just 6 feet apart. This room is quite intimate. There will be no studio audience to cheer them on, no campaign staff allowed in this room. And
that's really unfortunate, because when you have a studio audience, it really adds to the energy. And we all know that Donald Trump feeds off of audience reaction. And but the whole thing's rigged.
Candidates will not be allowed to talk to campaign staff during the commercial breaks either. No pre-written debate notes are allowed on this stage, but there will be a pen and pad on each of their podiums.
Will Kamala have an earpiece in her ear with Barack Obama whispering sweet nothings?
The former president won the coin toss, and so he chose to have the final word in this debate. Vice President Kamala Harris choosing the podium on the right side of the debate stage. Their microphones will only be turned on when it is their turn to speak. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer each question, 2 minutes for a rebuttal, and just 60 seconds for any follow-up questions. And they will be paying close attention to this monitor right here. The color will change as the time winds down, turning yellow when there's just 15 seconds left and turning red when their time is up. And of course, our moderators, our very own David Muir and Lindsay Davis, they'll be sitting right here moderating what is the first and very likely only presidential debate before November.
And that's because Kamala Harris refused to go on the Fox News debate. Anywhere, anytime, say it to my face, Kamala, refusing to go on with Trump on Fox. I wonder why. I'm sure she's terrified. Philadelphia gears up for a Harris-Trump debate with protests expected, apparently. And Wokeness had a really interesting tweet or post today on X. And these are the suggested debate rebuttals for Trump. When Harris says that she'll be tough on the border, Trump simply has to respond, 20 million invaded this country under your watch as borders are. If you believe the border's bad now, wait until Kamala fulfills her pledge to give free health care to illegals. Harris, I will lower prices. They've had almost 4 years to lower prices, yet here we are. Why not use it now? The fact is your policies have led to inflation, not relief. You're a convicted felon. You know that's going to come up. You know that's going to be a zinger she's going to try to throw in. And he's going to say, now these are speculations. My legal battles are a badge of my fight against a corrupt establishment. If I had sold out like many in Washington, I wouldn't be facing these charges. This isn't justice, it's political retribution. Let's talk about Project 2025. Of course, that is one of the big buzzwords. I remember driving into Chicago recently when I was heading to the event with General Flynn and George Papadopoulos launching that Christian Orthodox coalition. And there were billboards all over the city about stopping President Trump and Project 2025, this big boogeyman. Project 2025 is a diversion. Let's talk about the real project that's failed America, Project 2021, otherwise known as your administration's track record. I've publicly distanced myself from Project 2025, and your focus on it only shows you're out of touch with what Americans really care about. Harris, a woman has a right to choose. I believe in democracy. Well, I should say I believe in a republic, where states decide on issues like abortion, reflecting the will of their people. But let's not forget, you've advocated for mandates that took away individual choice, like with the COVID vaccine. What about January 6th? You supported and bailed out the rioters in Minneapolis. You encouraged them, telling them not to stop. $2 billion worth of property damage and dozens killed. A great projection for some of the questions and reactions we can possibly expect tomorrow. But you remember this? This was a beautiful moment on Fox during
Mr. Trump. One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, man, that was a solid gold moment. Now, here's what's interesting. Vivek Ramaswamy has made it a point to say if Trump trounces Kamala at the debate, get ready for some very strange things to happen before November. They've already sued him, prosecuted him, tried to kick him off the ballot, and swapped out his opponent. All of it could just be a preview of what's to come. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
Happened. One thing I want to caution against, Sean, is exactly what happened in June. What I expect is that Donald Trump will once again run circles around Kamala Harris, just as he did with Joe Biden in that last debate. The question is that going to be good for us in winning this election or not? Because last time around, it was the catalyst for something drastic happening afterwards, which is in that case swapping out Joe Biden as the nominee. And I think if Kamala Harris really does tank in this debate, and I think there's a decent chance that happens, I think there are strange things that could happen between now and November, because the Democrats, they have been playing this as, in some ways, one step ahead.
You're suggesting that we may live through another change in candidates if she didn't have a good debate?
No, I don't think it's going to be a change in the candidates. The ballots have already been printed, but I do think that we have a machine that we're up against that has demonstrated that it is going to go to great measures to defeat Donald Trump. You trace this back over the last year and a half. You've got prosecutions. You've got civil cases. You've got extrajudicial attempts to remove him from the ballot. They told us Joe Biden was definitively going to be the nominee, then negotiated for the earliest ever presidential debate in U.S. history because they knew there was a good chance Biden would underperform. Once he did, they swapped him out. I think we've got to learn from those lessons, Sean, to say that they're still going to have many more tricks up their sleeve. So the two scenarios are either Kamala Harris overperforms. I don't expect that to happen. Or what I do expect to happen is Donald Trump to seriously defeat her in this debate as he did last time around. But don't expect that to be the end of this election. I think there's going to be more tricks left up their sleeve.
And one of those tricks, as Vivek has stated before, Mr. Reagan and others have stated, is that Biden will step down. He will resign his presidency and hand it over to Kamala Harris. That's one of the ideas. And now there'll be a new honeymoon period. Kamala is the new president. Walz is vice. Now she's an incumbent. And everyone's excited. The first woman president, never even receiving a single vote, right? Certainly possible. That could all happen. RFK Jr. exposed Harris with this ad. This came out on September 1st. Trump will crush her in the debate. This is a must-watch and share. Let's watch this.
Jail for marijuana. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
And I inhale. I did inhale.
She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Brutal ad. Brutal ad from RFK just a few days ago. What's also interesting is that we've got President Trump. Yes, he did win the coin toss for the debate. He will have the final word. Trump has Kamala so nervous that she apparently, ready for this, watched all 6 of his debates, studied all of his insults, and even called Hillary Clinton for advice. Let's listen to what CNN had to say about this.
As well as she has closely studied the former president's past 6 debate performances. She's also been sort of entrenched in these briefing papers going over the former president's past comments, as well as the ways that he has insulted her, so she can be prepared to respond to that. She's engaged in these mock debates with a stand-in for the former president, and she's had conversations with Hillary Clinton and President Biden, who both extensively have knowledge of debating the former president. She has
Yeah, I'm sure that Joe Biden doesn't even remember the debate. So Cat Turd actually put in if you don't know who Cat Turd is, he is a big X account. Who will win the debate tomorrow? He did a poll. He says 97% of the people, 42,000 votes, and there's still 18 hours left. 97% of the people said that Donald Trump would win. And of course, remember, George Papadopoulos and myself, we've already seen the results. Here's ABC debate moderator. Listen, this is Jack Posobiec giving us a flashback. This is the ABC debate moderator, Lindsay Davis, trying to link President Trump to the KKK. You think they're going to be impartial?
In Howell. You know, former President Donald Trump is expected to go campaign in Howell, Michigan tomorrow. Many people are aware that a month ago in Howell, KKK protesters marched in the streets with the white robes on and suggested that they support Donald Trump. I'm curious if you make anything about that connection and him going in particular to Howell tomorrow. You know.
Yeah, sure. See, trying to paint him any way that they can. The ghost of Joe Biden is haunting Kamala Harris the night before her first debate. Jesse Waters had a great segment. Let's play a little bit.
It's the last night of debate camp for Kamala, and the camp counselors are leaking.
I'm picking up quite a lot of nervousness, by the way, on the state of the race. I don't know what you're hearing, Anthony, but I'm getting Democrats kind of texting me. I had a long call yesterday with a strategist, and I can fill you in on that a bit more, but I'm hearing quite a lot of nervousness from some Democrats.
Good.
Debate camp must not be going well because now they're setting expectations really low.
She's never been in a presidential debate before. She's been in a vice presidential debate, but never a presidential debate. So I do think she is going to probably be a little bit more nervous. I think she has more riding on it.
Whatever happened to Mrs. Say It to My Face? She's been at debate camp for a week, rehearsing zingers and watching old game tape.
She has closely studied the former president.
Yeah, we just played that clip. So this is all that's happening here. And of course, as you know, we already saw the future.
Oh, man. Wow.
Gary.
Whoa. That was wild, dude. Whoa. Did you see that debate? Trump killed it.
Whoa.
Wow, man. I mean, we knew that was going to happen, though, right?
Gary, that's the benefit of going into the future, coming back. You know exactly what's going to happen. Gary, it was a massacre. It was an absolute massacre. He wiped her. He wiped the floor with Kamala. It's over. Done deal. Game, set, match.
Man, dude, I thought the Biden debate was bad. I mean, Kamala, dude. I mean, the cackling. She couldn't even figure out like how to finish the sentences. I mean, Trump, he couldn't even. Man, it was just great.
Yeah, we didn't even have to go into the future to predict what we just saw.
Oh, we knew it was going to happen. We just saw it.
We knew it. We saw it. We're here to tell you exactly how it ends. This is over. Trump 2024.
Oh, man. George Papadopoulos right here in the time machine. We just got back from the debate. Gary Franchi here. I mean, holy cow. This was amazing.
Oh, my God, Gary. Gary, this is it. This is the benefit of time travel, I'm telling you. This is it. Not many people could do it. We did it.
The future looks bright, doesn't it?
The future looks extremely bright. I'm very happy. Extremely happy. Trump 2024. Don't worry about anything. Be strong, America. We got this.
We got this. The future looks bright. So there you have it, folks. A little peek into the future shows us why Trump is still the dominant force in American politics. He doesn't just win a debate. He lays out a vision for America that resonates with millions. And Kamala Harris, well, she shows us exactly why the Democrats are in panic mode. Now, the debate is not just a political event. It's a glimpse into America's future. Let me tell you, based on what we've seen, that future is looking bright for those who believe in freedom and prosperity. All right, let's check in to the chat room and see what you guys are saying. What's up, chat? What's up? Haha. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you guys like that little skit that me and George put together for you? Let's see. Subi AZ says she's going to be on drugs. Trump should demand a drug test. Too funny, says Vicky. Southern Gal says, you guys rock. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. You know what? We did that. Actually, that was our second take. The first take didn't have, it was low energy, kind of Jeb Bush energy. And then I had to kind of like reset it and then, direct a little bit more. And we got it on two takes. So it was good. Let's see. What else are you saying? Gary, are you doing live stream for the debate? Good question. Legendary. I want to do it. It all depends on if we can find a clean feed. I've got to look into like the copyrights. I know that other channels are going to be doing it. So there's going to be a lot of online competition of everybody. Everyone's going to be streaming it, and everyone's going to be competing for your eyeballs on YouTube and Rumble and wherever. So I got to take all those things into consideration. But most importantly, it comes down to the feed. If we can find a good, clean feed that's not going to get triggered by the algorithm and shut down the stream altogether. Because if you remember the CNN feed, they said that they weren't allowing people to restream it. They were going to shut down streams and copyright strikes and all those things, and they would only allow people to run 3-minute segments. So I don't know. Again, so it's really going to be a last-minute decision, and I got to do some more research on that tomorrow. So, okay, let's see what else. 9 p.m. then. Thanks. I'll make sure to tune in. This is going to be good. Yeah, maybe we'll just do we'll just do like a drinking party, like we'll just take shots, and we'll just, by the end of the 90 minutes, we'll just all be half in the bag. I don't know. The last time that I did a stream where we were boozing together, it didn't end well. Did not end well. All right. You guys all remember that. Some of you do. The lucky few. In the early days of this channel. I think we were drinking, what was it? Old Smoky whiskey, old Smoky whiskey, mango habanero. Yeah, actually pretty good stuff. Anyway. Okay, RC Dyer, she should do a breathalyzer test. They may have to give, our Boyd says, Gary was toast. Yeah, we put the screens behind us. It was like a warp drive, and we were dancing, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. But we had fun. Our Boyd, he remembers that. Very good. Don't bring it up again, though. Okay. Sure you says, I'm the biggest drinker here. Can you imagine like this whole chat room full of just drunk people? Every time Kamala cackles, take a shot. Someone's got to make a drinking game about this, I'm sure. Okay. Tomorrow night will be another 10% crossing to the right side. Well, that's what our next story is about, is the polls, and they are certainly shifting. Let's see. Trump, do what you did during the first debate. Ignore unimportant questions and talk about what people care about. And that's a really interesting technique. It really takes a lot to be able to take a question and then flip it and redirect it. And politicians are very well versed in that strategy, and I'm sure Trump will have no problem with that if need be. Okay, no one refers to the hit and run. Yeah, we're still looking into that. Looks like that may have been a fake news story. Yeah, that is what I'm seeing all over the place. So we're going to have to figure out what to do with that one, because that story went completely viral. Okay. Shut down the bars after the debate. Kamala going to need to get drunk. Okay, let's see. From the Boot Heel of Missouri. Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, someone's... I'm not even going to read that quote. So you guys can see that one from Inferno 2024. Okay. Let's get to our next topic of the evening. Let's get all that information queued up for you. Okay. Now, if you thought that our future peak at the debate was a bombshell, wait until you see these poll numbers. We're looking at a surge, a tidal wave, a political tsunami that has the entire Democrat establishment shaking in their boots. Donald Trump isn't just leading, he is dominating in ways that we haven't seen in modern political history. But here's the kicker. The mainstream media is doing everything they can to bury these numbers. Well, not on this show. We're going to break down exactly what these polls mean and why they have Washington insiders in full-blown panic. And speaking of things that are surging, have you noticed how dangerous our roads have become lately? It's not just your imagination. Recent reports show that drivers with dash cams are 60% less likely to be found at fault in traffic accidents. That's why you need to check out this easy-to-install dash cam. It records every detail on the road, giving you collision documentation, 24/7 security, and even captures those memorable drives. With 4K Ultra HD night vision and 24/7 motion detection, it's a must-have for enhanced road safety. Don't just drive, drive smart. Visit carvisionx.com for free express shipping and exclusive bonuses during their summer special. Summer is almost over, so protect yourself and your family on the road. Get your dash cam today. All right, let's jump into it now. We've got some serious poll numbers that the Democrats are freaking out about. New York Times Siena National Poll and corresponding Silver Bulletin MVP Electoral College odds. Donald Trump Electoral College win probability 99.7%. They are saying that it is in the bag for Donald Trump. So that means, well, listen, I'm still concerned about the election fraud. I'm still concerned about all these illegals that are in the country being registered to vote. Okay. It's not like they're polling illegals who are telling them who they're voting for. Right? So that's like the wild card we have to be very, very concerned about. That's why we need to get every single legal registered American out there to vote, so we can have this win. Gateway Pundit reports that Mark Zuckerberg called Donald Trump, said there's no way I can vote for a Democrat this election. Mark Zuckerberg in panic mode. President Donald Trump claimed in a recent interview that tech giant Mark Zuckerberg personally called him and said that he wouldn't vote for a Democrat in this year's election. Now, of course, Zuckerberg was recently responding to that picture of Donald Trump, the fight, fight, fight picture, and said it was one of the most epic photographs. And, of course, his platform went ahead and flagged it as misinformation. But Facebook is still flagging conservative posts all day long, so I don't think it really matters who Zuckerberg says he's going to be voting for or not. It could just be damage control. Let's see. True Explorer replying to the leading report. That's the poll numbers I just cited to you. And they wanted to add on to that. Now, if you remember, Elon Musk did a poll on X. 5.6 million votes. 5.6 million. Trump won 73% in that poll. Now, Ed Krasenstein, if you don't know who he is a notorious left-wing troll on X. Recently made some headlines in the Daily Mail. You can look that up. Ed Krasenstein's second poll on X, Trump felon, 77%. Harris, prosecutor, 14%. So even on a left-wing poll, Krasenstein's poll showed Trump winning. Democrats on X per X data, 37 million. Republicans on X per X data, 32 million. Independents. So there's quite a good cross-section of the population on X. And if these polls are in the indicator, you have Musk and you have Krasenstein, and Trump won both. So the numbers are starting to jive. MSNBC is trying to convince Americans that the United States will become a dictatorship if Kamala loses. These are the standard fear tactics at play here. Let's take a look. This is from Tom Elliott. And let's see. This is MSNBC.
And the same New York Times poll shows this race nationally is a toss-up right now. 1 point separates Harris and Trump, again, within the margin of error. But look at who people see as the change candidate. 53% say Trump represents major change. Just
change we can believe in.
25% for Harris. Maybe seems counterintuitive since Trump was already president. He hasn't stopped talking about 2020. What do you make of it?
Well, I think that change number should be higher because Trump would represent the greatest change in the history of the American Republic. He would take our democracy and turn it into an authoritarian strongman, likely dictatorship on.
That's what they want you to believe. This is all projection. All projection. That's what Joe Biden has done, weaponized the Justice Department against a political opponent. Kamala Harris talking about clamping down on misinformation, your free speech, opening the borders wide open.
One, his own words, not mine. So those numbers don't surprise me. But look, I think with Kamala Harris, tomorrow's debate, you got to understand, this is the last major event before Election Day. Now, people think Election Day in November. Not true. Election Day starts next week when ballots in Pennsylvania will begin being cast. So this is really an opportunity for her to, yes, as Chris says, draw some policy contrast. But I don't think it's really about that. I think it's about showing that voters can trust her, that she is a credible commander-in-chief, that she is ready to assume and become president and lead our country into a stable growth. We've had tremendous economic success over these.
Shut up. Enough of that guy. Going back into this other poll that has been, I've seen this poll a dozen times already. Benny Johnson, the recent victim of a smear campaign as a Russian asset through Tenet Media. That's a whole nother story. We covered it last week. Mark Dice has done some amazing coverage. I encourage you to go look at some of his work on that topic specifically. Anyway, I don't want to digress here. Trump widens already commanding lead over Kamala with new all-time polling high in Democrat pollster Nate Silver's Electoral College prediction model. Now, you see this? Look at those numbers. Trump at 64.4% to Kamala Harris at 35%. Who is favored to win the presidency? So Donald Trump is soaring. Clearly, the honeymoon is over. Outkick reporting Nate Silver's latest election model predicts a blowout victory for Donald Trump. Trump with 312 Electoral College votes to Kamala's 226. And this is the predicted map. Look at that sea of red. And, of course, the predicted blue states just falling in line as they normally do. Chuck Callisto, Democrat pollsters' newest numbers have Donald Trump crushing Kamala Harris nationally, adding another serious blow to the campaign just 1 day from the debate. Let's take a look at their analysis of the Nate Silver forecast we just shared with you on Fox.
Trump at 63.8%, Kamala Harris at 36%. He's been right. He's been wrong in the past. What do you think?
I mean, look, what stood out for me from this poll was there's a lot of ink been spilled about the Republican problem with the gender gap, the Democratic gender gap. They're losing men by more than they're winning women. That's a recipe for a Republican win if that carries over Election Day.
Trump at 63.8%.
Well, President Trump certainly does represent major change from the last 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration. As much as Kamala Harris wants to run away from her record over the past 4 years, she owns every crisis: the immigration crisis at our border, the inflation crisis that's robbing hardworking families of thousands of dollars every single month, and the foreign policy crises, namely the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan that Kamala Harris said she was proud to be the last person standing in the room when Joe Biden made that decision. Tomorrow.
Oh, and it gets worse for Kamala Harris. Massive Pennsylvania could be the key to 2024. CNN, of course, in full panic mode. This is then a post just 8 hours ago.
But let's take Pennsylvania out of Kamala Harris's column and put him in a Donald Trump's column. Again, with the betting favorites, with Trump taking Pennsylvania. What happens when we turn Pennsylvania red? Well, take a look here. Donald Trump wins in the Electoral College, 287 electoral votes to Kamala Harris's 251 electoral votes. So that is why I say it is pivotal. Yeah.
It is so important. It's worth adding letters. I will say
it's worth adding letters. I can't even get it out. The bottom line is it is so important. This state is very, very important.
You important data people like to call it a tipping point state. It looks like Pennsylvania could be the tipping point state, which means the one state that will decide the election. Now, if it is in fact the tipping point state, is there any elected official in Pennsylvania who may have been on a ticket that might have made a difference?
Well, this was the great question when Kamala Harris was making her VP selection. Who should she select? And, of course, folks like myself thought that she should take Josh Shapiro, of course, as the governor of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Why? Because his approval rating is 59%. And the bottom line is, if Kamala Harris loses in the state of Pennsylvania, and that is the tipping point state, as Mr. Berman put it, the state that put Donald Trump over the top in the Electoral College, there are going to be some real questions as to whether Kamala Harris should have chosen Josh Shapiro, given how popular he is in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Could she have been a winner if she had chosen him instead of...
Well, we all know why she didn't pick him. Okay, continuing on. Okay, this is the head Rasmussen pollster, Mark Mitchell, going deeper into the polling data, suggesting Trump is on his way to winning the popular vote, not just the Electoral College. Let's listen in here.
And that as completely 4.5 points. And you agree with that algorithmically and from a structural basis, and that Trump may be on his way to winning the popular vote?
There should be no complacency after especially what everybody saw in 2020, because again, Biden comfortably 4.5 points nationally won the national popular vote, but he only won by 120,000 votes in 4 swing states. Same thing could definitely happen if people aren't paying attention watching. But I went into the swing states and polled them in the middle of August, right in the middle of all the Kamala momentum, and Donald Trump was basically in a statistical tie. Now, there's a couple reasons why I think my state polling still leans a little bit too left. We were on average about 6 or 7 points too left in 2020. It happens. It's hard to poll states. But how's that for what everybody calls a right-wing pollster? So I corrected for, on average, about 4 points of that. I still think if everything holds up, apples to apples, I'm probably still, 2 points-ish too left on the swing states, right? But if the race is really moving back towards Trump right now and it bears out in the swing states, that's Trump winning most of them, which I think it's very reasonable to see, right? Like Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, if Arizona goes. Arizona and Nevada have been positive Trump every single time I've polled this entire cycle. Pennsylvania was tied again in the middle of August, in the middle of the DNC. So I think all of the swing state data I've seen personally validates that. But it's hard to make those assumptions if you're looking at the entire industry at large, because there, quite frankly, have been suppression polls. Are all of them? No, I do not think New York Times Siena is a suppression poll. I think maybe they're a little too left, but I look at their crosstabs, and it looks like a real poll. But then I look at, I mean, who was it last week? ABC News, the people that kicked us out of the 538 aggregate. They had a sample where Trump had a 33% favorability and Kamala Harris had a 46%. Trump was underwater 24 points, and she was a net positive at +3. So in that poll, they gave, they put 27 points of thumb on the Donald Trump scale, because in my most recent polling in the middle of August, they were kind of tied from a favorability perspective, again, at the height for her. So there's stuff like that out there, and those are the polls that you see that are Harris +4. Here's where people should not get complacent, right? I think Trump's going to win this. I think Trump's probably going to win, maybe if everything holds up, the national popular vote. The problem is the House and the Senate are not a given. Now, Montana looks like it's going for Sheehy. I think that's a gotta win for them. But seriously, every single Republican candidate in a battleground state is trailing Donald Trump big. And I think the generic ballot across every single battleground state was lower than the Trump lead. So, the complacency, right, where that's going to translate itself to is what kind of asymmetry happens in electioneering and momentum and get out the vote efforts. So, yeah, the energy level's got to stay high.
It needs to stay high. Donald Trump, it's clearly right now, New York Times Siena National Poll, 99.7% win possibility. So, but don't get complacent. Do not get complacent. Now, these poll numbers aren't just statistics. They are a wake-up call. They are telling us that despite all the attacks, all the lawsuits, all the attempts to silence him, Donald Trump's message is resonating more than ever. But here's the thing. Polls don't win elections. Votes do. So while these numbers are encouraging, they are also a call to action. If you want to see these poll predictions become reality, it's time to get involved. You got to spread the word to make your voice heard. The future of America is in your hands. All right, let's jump into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Okay. The herded goats of Hollywood are not bleating very much. Depends on where you live. Gary, all your videos have low volume and your voice is super loud. Make some adjustments. This seems to be on all your episodes. Thank you, Terry. Well, it's because my voice goes into here, and this cell phone has every video that we play from my cell phone has its own volume. There's no master equalizer to level the volume on my phone with my microphone. So I have to physically ride the volume. When Brian tells me raise the volume, he actually tells me, and then I put the volume up by clicking the volume on my phone higher. That's the only way we can do it to maintain this type of a production. Okay, New River Troll says you're doing fine, Gary. Well, thank you. Let's see. One can volunteer doing phone calls through the Trump Talk system. I did it both campaigns. DJT official under the volunteer section. Say you want to do phone calls. Very cool. I have to turn my mic down on my music app tool, says Troy. Hey, we're just doing the best we can over here, guys. We really are. Okay, let's see what else here. Be careful. They said the same thing about Hillary. Yes, they did, Kitty Fan. Yes, they did. So that's why I don't want you guys to get complacent. We're presenting this information because it's good news. But, like we don't want to be like those crying liberals the day after the election. We don't want to be them. So we have to get out there, and that's why I do the show. That's why we present the information for you guys. You can share the information. Derp States, not finished. They have another dirty trick up their sleeve, says Loki707. Ides of March says the best beat the election cheaters. Yep. Got to beat the cheat, right? Giovanni asked the question, what if they steal again? New River Troll, see if he reads that. What? What if they steal again? I don't know. I mean, if they steal again and the media just goes all in again, this country's done. I mean, stealing 2 elections in a row? Oh, man. Ask Gary that question. What question? Oh, is it actually better to vote early or the day of? Serious question. Okay, so somebody actually came to my house. They were doing door-to-door campaigning, and they said it was better to vote early, and they said that you should bring your vote. If you got a vote by mail application, you need to bring that to the polling station and vote early. That way you can physically state, this is my vote by mail. It is now null and void. Here it is. They put it in, they tag it with it, and they destroy it. So if there is somebody that votes by mail, now you've physically been there, then your actual physical vote in person is going to cancel out anything else because you've brought in the fact that you've already canceled out your vote by mail. So that's what I was told. And they also said to vote early because any election meddling or vote switching would be done on election day in mass as opposed to before the election. They just said it's easier to do it on the day of. It's easier for it to get lost in the shuffle on the big election day. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get into our next story. Cat, the other white meat. All right, brace yourselves for this next story because it's a doozy. Springfield, Ohio, now about to be renamed Little Haiti. It's a town that most Americans probably couldn't find on a map, will suddenly become ground zero for a crisis that epitomizes everything wrong with our current immigration policies. We're talking about a massive influx of Haitian immigrants that's turned this quiet Midwestern town upside down. But here's the kicker. While the mainstream media is either ignoring this or sugarcoating it, we have the raw, unfiltered truth. Let me tell you, it's going to make your blood boil. Now, folks, we're living in crazy times, but you know who's still kicking butt and taking names? I'm talking about the legendary Chuck Norris. That's right. At 84 years old, he's stronger and more energetic than ever. How? Well, he's discovered 3 things that sabotage our bodies as we age and found a simple way to combat them. Now, he and his wife feel decades younger with lean bodies and energy to spare, and he's made a special video explaining this method, and you can watch it right now, well, after this video, at chuckdefense.com/next. Just click the link in the description. Trust me, you will not believe how simple it is. Don't let age slow you down. Learn Chuck Norris's secrets and feel like you're in your prime again. That's chuckdefense.com/next. Okay. Are you ready for this? This has been all over today. This has been like the dominant story on X is house cats are now they're lining up supporting Donald Trump. Well, why? Cats' lives matter, my friends. Make cats safe again. Okay. Are you ready for this? Residents in Springfield, Ohio, they're reporting that Haitians are eating their family pets. Another gift to the Biden-Harris mass immigration replacement plan. Liberals will soon be lecturing Americans on why they need to be sensitive to Haitian culture and accept this as the new normal. Save our pets and secure our borders. Joe Biden floods Ohio town with 20,000 Haitian migrants, 10 to a bedroom. Springfield, Ohio Warning to all about our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter's friend had lost her cat. She checked pages, kennels, asked around. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out from her car, looked towards her neighbor's house where the Haitians live, and saw her cat hanging from a branch, like you do for a deer, for butchering. They were carving it up to eat. I've been told they are doing this to dogs. They have been doing it in Snyder Park with ducks and geese. I was told that last bit by rangers and police. Please keep a close eye on your animals. So this is what's happening. This is all because of Kamala Harris's policies. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, here is Kamala Harris saying it. In fact, here's Donald Trump tweeting it, posting it on Truth Social.
To Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection. Starting with our
They need support and they need protection. Donald Trump says 20,000 Haitian migrants were dumped onto the small town of Springfield, Ohio. Border czar Kamala Harris bragging about it. This is just a day before the debate. He posted that on his Truth Social account. Now, here is a woman from Springfield, Ohio, and she goes to her commission meeting there, city commission. The town went from having a population of 60,000 to getting 20,000 Haitians in just a few years. This woman says the majority of people are going to get free services are Haitians. Listen.
Into the grocery. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lisa Hayes, and I am a resident of Springfield, Ohio, and I'm also a registered voter. Okay, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I'm a great-grandmother. I have family here in this town. You know, it's the first time I've ever spoke at the commission meeting, and I'm going to try to make it a good talk with you. Okay, I would like to know how many of you sitting up there tonight go into the grocery stores here in the city, Walmart, here in the city, to do your shopping. I'm going to tell you, 64 years old, and I don't know what kind of label you can put on this, but I'm taking my cart down the grocery aisle, and I have 3 immigrants strapped across the aisle. Seen me coming, would not budge, wouldn't even, and I said, excuse me. Maybe they didn't understand what I was saying, but I'm sure they understood that I was trying to get through that aisle. So I have no recourse now but to bust through it. I'm not afraid to do so. You know, I would like to see them have some common respect, some common decency. Do not try to bully your way through Springfield, Ohio. It's not going to work out well. Yeah, I don't believe it will work out well at all. I have a 20-year-old granddaughter who works 2 jobs, pays city tax. I have a 23-year-old grandson who also pays city tax and federal and state and all the other stuff. She works 2 jobs. She's pregnant. It took us 4 months to get Medicaid for that young lady, and she couldn't have any of her tests done. I had to come up with $150 for her very first doctor's appointment. It's $150. Then I'm told that when she does get the Medicaid, they'll back it up. Are they going to give me my $150 back? I doubt it. I doubt it. And I know that's not your problem, that's a state problem, and I will address them, I already have. The other thing is that I sat down and I decided I was going to start emailing some of the higher ups to the state. Started emailing them. Within 1 day, they called me and said that they didn't have permission to talk to me because she's 20. I said, that's okay, she'll be home at 2. That morning, she received an automated phone call that she was covered by Medicaid since August 15th. All of a sudden, now she's covered. All of a sudden, now she can get the help. But we can't get through the doors of JFS to do anything. We can't get through it. The line is so long. And that's what we have done here in the city. We have just brought too many daggone people to come in here and be able to apply for free stuff. And here we are working, paying those taxes every week for what? What? So she can't get any help? So we can't get through the doors of Social Security so I can file for retirement? Doors are too, it's packed up there. All the...
Yep. Yeah, American citizens getting a back seat these days. That's just the way it is. That's the way they want it. Oh, here's I'm not sure what this is. This is apparently New York City. It appears to be, looks like.
Y miren, lo último que pude ver.
Yeah, that looks like what is that? Are those rats or cats? I don't know what that is. What are those? I don't know what those are. Someone drop a comment. I think those are rats. Big rats, but that's New York City for you. Oh, and here we go. Downtown press. Dear racists, you eat birds too. Racists are fury over migrants grilling seagulls and geese. Newsflash, most Americans eat birds. Ever heard of chicken? Accounts guess that the press would write gaslighting articles on why it's okay to eat birds and pets. Here is a woman in Ohio who was arrested. This is body camera footage of a woman who was arrested. What, Brian? She's not a Haitian individual, but she was arrested for eating a neighbor's pet cat.
Yeah. What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
Yeah, this is what's happening in Ohio. It's been all over X today. Insane. And here's Ohio's First Lady, Fran DeWine, telling Madison ES students about how children in Haiti live. Jack Posobiec says all of this happened because Mike DeWine's wife is obsessed with Haiti. Let me get the volume for you.
There's 8th birthday, and so she's bringing about 5 kids to spend the night. And so in the governor's house, it's a big house, it's an old house, and you know.
Oh, whatever. That's all. Who cares? Here's Drew Hernandez posting. Maxine Waters said Haitian illegal aliens were victims because they're black and poor. She also claimed Americans were outraged because they were invading our nation because they're black.
Well, let me just say this, that Haitians have been the victims of, not only our country, but Canada and France for years, historically. They're black, they're poor. It's the poorest country in the hemisphere. They have been exploited, and it continues all the time. They are not, it does not appear that they are seen in the same way that they see others. Haitians have been the victims because they were the first country to fight off, the repression of France. And of course, France have made them pay a big price for it. Yes, I think they're treated differently because they're black, because they are Haitians, and because traditionally they have not been treated as human beings.
Okay, Maxine Waters, of course, always playing the card there. Here's this guy is absolutely furious because Biden-Harris dropped 20,000 Haitians into Springfield. Let's listen to this resident.
Say to that.
When they walk down through here and they say something in their language, I'd be like, go on down the road, you fucking sand monkey. And that's what I say to them.
You say it straight to their face?
Straight to their face. I mean, why beat around the bush?
Okay, what do they say to that?
They don't say nothing. I don't understand them. They don't, I guess apparently they don't understand me, but trying to learn our language.
Do you see them trying to learn English and assimilate to the American culture?
No, I don't. But, it's just, it's old, man. I mean, there's 12 motherfucking Haitians that live there, and there's another 7 or 8 lives right here in this corner house.
I'll knock on that door, yeah.
And 4 of them just moved in here. They ain't in there yet, but they're going to be in there next week.
So you're going to be the minority very shortly if you already aren't.
We already are the minority.
Yeah. What would you say the percentage currently is of Haitians to OG, original Springfieldians?
You mean percentage-wise?
Yeah.
Probably them 60%, that's 40.
Okay.
It's
Are they eating cats in the neighborhood? Is that real?
Man, I heard that. The white double right there. They had 6 chickens in their backyard a month ago. 6 walking around fucking chickens, and they ain't none back there now. Now there's over 20,000 of them, you know, and they're every fucking where. They take our fucking apartments. You know.
Okay. Yeah, that guy, I don't know if he's legit or what, but yeah, not exactly language that we endorse here. So to all the YouTube censors who are watching this video right now, no. We're only presenting context, so we're giving context to the viewers, and we, of course, disavow any type of language that would insinuate that we agree with that type of characterization of any group of people. Months ago, J.D. Vance raised the issue of Haitian illegal immigrants draining social services and generally causing chaos all over Springfield, Ohio.
With folks in Chairman Brown, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter for the record from the city of Springfield and our state, the southwestern part of our state, which I think highlights a very real example of this particular concern, straight from the horse's mouth itself. Now, this letter, I want to quote from it. Springfield has seen a surge in population through immigration that has significantly impacted our ability as a community to produce enough housing opportunities for all. Springfield's Haitian population has increased 15 to 20,000 over the last 4 years in a community of under 60,000 previous residents, putting a significant strain on our resources and ability to provide ample housing for all of our residents. And end quote there. And Mike.
No objection. So
thank you. In my conversations with folks in Springfield, it's not just housing. They're trying to build 5,000 new housing units, which is a very Herculean task in a town of about 55,000 people. But it's also hospital services, it's school services, there are a whole host of ways in which this immigration problem, I think, is having very real human consequences. Chairman Brown, I'd like to ask.
Sure. Real consequences. You're seeing some of it here. And the memes, of course, are going wild all over the web. You can see here, vote for Trump, ducks for Trump. Now, Charlie, this is interesting. This is from March. DOD officials testified before the House Armed Services Committee, this is in March, remember, that the Biden administration is anticipating mass migration from Haiti into the U.S. via Florida. Well, this is from March, and now it's happening, and we're seeing it all over social media.
Century and number one push. So what's the difference between Haiti and a failed state? It's telling, right? We can't really identify them because the gangs are in charge. The government has been thrown out. And as a Florida man, I'm deeply concerned about this wave of people that we're about to have, that we are having, coming from Haiti, and it will accelerate because I've gone to Opelika and I've spent time with the folks that are engaged in Operation Vigilant Century, and they say the number one push factor that drives these Haitians into Broward County, Palm Beach County, where they don't disperse throughout the country, they stay in Southeast Florida, that driving factor is the deterioration of conditions in Haiti. So what are we doing to prepare for that wave and to ensure that these people are not paroled into the United States as the administration has done with people on the southern border, but instead are repatriated back at the dock at Port-au-Prince?
Congressman, we're doing a number of things to ensure that we're keeping track of the situation and we're prepared. At the moment, we have not yet seen large numbers, what we would characterize as a maritime mass migration. But we are alert to that.
Mass migration, though.
We are alert to that possibility. I think you're right that the driving conditions in Haiti could very well press more people. So we've recently approved some additional assistance that we can provide to the Coast Guard. I think that has now fully been approved. We'll be providing notifications if we haven't already to provide additional shipboard assistance.
Because I've talked to the Coast Guard, and what they say would really support them would be more naval vessels, would be DOD support. And because I think you correctly said that there is an anticipated mass migration here, there are specific legal authorities that we can access that I would implore you to access. Specifically, George W. Bush signed Executive Order 13276. And in that executive order, there is the ability for any president to designate an anticipated mass migration and then get gray hull naval vessels into the Straits of Florida to deter that migration and then to repatriate those people before they get to Florida. So,
but of course, they are not deterring it. Kamala Harris is encouraging it. 100,000, in fact. Elon Musk actually posted Paging PETA. Apparently, animal sacrifices are on the rise in Queens, with chickens and pigs being tortured in twisted rituals. Where is PETA on all this? Great question. Yeah, they are missing in action. Now, there's another guy I want to bring up here. This guy really laid into it. Listen to this.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... They flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. They need to, y'all pay them, they can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? How much money is y'all really getting paid, to bring them over here? I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, step up. It's.
So, think about it. 100,000 Haitians getting dumped into America, 20,000 into Ohio. You know that there is tax money involved. And somebody in that town is getting paid. Some NGO, somebody is getting paid to bring these people into that town. And this guy is hitting it right on the head. Get on your Croc. Put your Crocs on. Here's a woman.
Skinner, who I'm not trying to...
Noel? Thank you.
I live at 426 Northwestern Avenue. Miss Skinner, who I'm not trying to put on the spot, is my neighbor.
Just talk to me, ma'am. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
And I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noel, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay. Thank you.
No, they want her out too. They're going to give her house to some Haitians.
I was out and about yesterday, driving around Springfield. I was looking at the giant holes in some of our buildings. I noticed all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language. I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park, going to Wren's to get new school clothes and shoes, the excitement of the mall for lunch at the Blue Fox, or even better to see Santa, riding down High Street, admiring the beauty of those stately homes and their amazing architecture, dropping pennies in the fountain and making wishes. And now, all those warm memories are becoming fuel to the fire of anger inside of me. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using up the resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them. And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work. People living their life here the way they did in Haiti, angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public. Making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop. What will become of Springfield? Where will we be in 5 years? The thought terrifies me. Will it be some sort of dystopian wasteland with most of our original residents having moved away and those that cannot afford to move being locked inside their homes, living in fear? This thought is keeping me awake at night. I just want the old Springfield back. I know it was far from perfect, but at least it was still ours. Thank you.
So the situation in Springfield is not just a local issue, it's a microcosm of what's happening across America. It's a result of policies that prioritize open borders over the well-being of American citizens. But here's the thing, it's not just about immigrants. It's about loving America enough to demand sensible policies that benefit everyone. The people of Springfield deserve better, and so do all Americans. This crisis is a wake-up call, and it's time for our leaders to answer it, or for us to elect leaders who will. Okay, let's get into the chat room and see what you guys are, your reactions. Let's see here. Phil says, import the third world, become the third world. Mauricio says, cats for Trump. You asked Springfield to Springfield, Ohio. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Harris and the Democrats gotta go. They are a disaster. John says that this is deliberately, where is it? Deliberately being done to divide our country and give us a rise up to fight or later be crushed. Our leaders hate us and are doing everything they can to show their intent. Am I familiar with I Pet Goat? Is that the book that... I'm not familiar with that. William Adams says, coming to a town near you. John says, please don't get complacent. Vote. Vin says, you only have to wait another 60 days and things will change. We'll just say a prayer. Say a prayer for this country. Say a prayer for this country. Let's check in on the main X feed from the Next News Network and take a look at the latest headlines that are happening now. Here we go. Speaking of Haitians, here's one that was caught carrying looks like a Canadian goose. Libs of TikTok. Apparently someone in Ohio would call this stew. Wow. Brick suit. This is where we're headed under Kamala. Springfield Haitian barbecue. Cats, dogs, and ducks. We accept EBT. Brick suit. Love that guy. Let's see here. Congress must pass the SAVE Act to stop non-citizens from voting in November. Yes, Elon Musk tweeting, quote tweeting that, saying it's a big deal. Yes, we need to make sure only citizens vote. Trump tomorrow night at the debate. Tyreek Hill body cam release proves that he lied. Not sure what YOLO update is. Trump War Room 3 hours ago. Let's just go to the Trump War Room account and see what the latest they've been publishing here. 32 minutes ago. Wisconsin voter says, I want more money in my pocket. Ted Koppel, who do you think is going to do that for you?
I want some more money in my pocket.
They vote their pocketbooks. And who do you think is going to do that for you?
Trump, red all the way. I want.
Former director of Project 2025, Trump has nothing to do with it. Saying it on CNN.
A lot of us have, the breaking news is Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. Sure, a lot of us have worked in the admin and came together, but this started long before he even announced for president.
Okay, so that puts that to rest. Of course, the narrative is going to continue. Never Trump Rhino McKinnon, the one in the cowboy getup, is left speechless after getting shut down by BC Lanza for repeating the debunked 16 million jobs hoax.
Mark, here's the problem with that, and that's the problem.
The actual,
she can effectively bait him right back and just say, okay, Donald, let's talk about jobs. You lost more jobs than anybody since Herbert Hoover. You lost more than 2 million jobs. We gained 15 million. Yeah, but Mark, here's the problem with that, and that's the problem that the Harris campaign struggles with and the Biden campaign struggled with the economy, is they genuinely believe they created all those jobs. Flipping the switch for getting rid of COVID and people returning to the same jobs is not job creation. You know it's not
Bingo.
job creation, and the American people know it's not job creation, and that's why they didn't buy that argument.
Bingo! Let's see what else is going on here in the feed. Wow. Okay. U.S. Marshals recovered 32 missing children in Ohio. And 17 minutes ago, small riot forming in the center of Washington, D.C. Multiple assaults, high-end looting, several fires. D.C. police scrambling downtown to reports of a mob of 60 people breaking into the Gucci store at City Center. Falcon has been requested but awaiting clearance to fly over restricted airspace. So it looks like there's some rioting going on in D.C. at the moment. Two illegal Honduran migrants arrested after shooting down a bald eagle they plan to cook and eat in Nebraska. Okay. Trump campaign 2 hours ago says Kamala Harris has actually been running the country and owns every failure of the Biden-Harris administration. Here's a nice meme of Kitty Cat Trump. Posobiec, a minute ago. Kamala says Trump's in it for himself. He took a sniper's bullet and got right back up on his feet. That's what he's about. Oh, look at this. Please save us, Trump. Vote for Trump. Okay. Follow us on X. Check out some of my Whoa! Fort Worth PD. Tackle a man hard and arrest him. Oh, that's got to hurt right there. Rob Schneider, truly incredible, hilarious book. Joke Isn't Funny Anymore by the brilliant comic and writer Lou Perez. Okay, so keep in mind, tomorrow we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm waiting for an email, 100% confirmation, so make sure you're here tomorrow for an opportunity to win something related to Tucker Carlson. What could it be? I don't know. You'll find out tomorrow night. So there you have it, folks. Tonight we peeled back the layers of deception and brought you the unvarnished truth about the state of our nation. We've given you a sneak peek into the future, revealing how Donald Trump will dominate tomorrow's debate stage, leaving Kamala Harris scrambling for answers. And we may even stream it live. Just got to get some confirmation on some of the logistics to make sure we can. We've also uncovered poll numbers that suggest a political earthquake is on the horizon, and we've exposed the harsh realities of our broken immigration system in Springfield, Ohio. But here's the thing. This show is a platform for truth, and it does not exist in a vacuum. It exists because of you, our dedicated viewers and supporters. You are the reason we can continue to bring you the stories the mainstream media won't touch. You are the reason we can stand up to the tech giants and the political elites who want to silence voices like ours. And that's why I am asking you right now to consider making a donation to keep this show on the air. Every dollar you contribute goes directly into our fight for truth and transparency. Whether it's $5 or $500, your support makes a difference. There is a donation link in the description. Please use it. Remember, the battle for America's future isn't fought just at the ballot box. It's fought every day in living rooms and town halls, on social media, and yes, on shows like this one. We are in this fight together, and together we can ensure that the truth prevails. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your support, and most of all, thank you for being a part of this movement to reclaim America. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and never stop fighting for what's right. This is Gary Franchi reminding you that the future is ours to shape. Good night, and God bless America.